I've got both ramps down now. I've been using the cornflake packets again, cutting up PVA on them. So now I've got some strong sides there to put the plaster cloth on, cover all that in plaster cloth now. I've got sort of a hillside up to this incline. I've had to change the background when I've gone to here. I don't think it really matters, but it's a nice sky background. I'll go back to housing again once I got past there. But just trying to do it so as it all fits in. Anyway, I'll get this bit done now. Got those inclines, the ramps up to the suspension bridges down. I'll do a bit of painting later when it's all dried. Now I can start laying some track. Right, well, just to give you an insight as to, we can see which direction we're going now. We've still got to do all this with the static grass, etc. This was just the undercoat, as we call it. I've got the cork bedding to go down on there. I got that incline's looking better now. That's what I do. I put the fine grass down to start with, a bit of brown, a bit of grey, a bit of all sorts, and then I'll put some static grass on top to finish it off. It's coming down to this ballasting last night or yesterday afternoon. These two tracks coming round, and it's just about strong enough now to spray over with the sleeper grime. I have a bit to do at the back there. I'll show you doing that, because before I was using that fine, this is me just the mid-range, as I call it. It's not the fine, it's the medium. That's the word I was trying to think of. That's what I'm using. Medium ballast. But I'll just show you putting a little bit on at the back there. You know I like to use my little machine. That's the one I use. Again, that's one of Pro's products. Just run it round the track. And just keep filling it up. I hope you can see this. And then just go down with the fingers, thumb, whatever. And then finally go down with a brush just to edge it off. I use my thumb on the sleepers. And then we just spray it all with water with a drop of washing up liquid until it's thoroughly soaked. And then of course we put the PVA mixture on. You've seen me doing that. And that's how easy it is. I know I keep saying it's a hard job. Well, it's a mess you get sometimes. So when I was doing it with that other stuff down there, that was a mess. Down here, I'll just show you what a difference adding this rail match sleeper grime adds. I'll do the rust on the rails afterwards, but just do this for the time being. I know you're going to say I should protect the rails. Well, you can do. You can put straws over. I've done it in the past. I put paper over. But it's just as easy to do it like this, and then go over with a cloth straight away. Wipe it off the rails. I'm doing this a bit too early actually. I said I only did this yesterday afternoon. You need 48 hours for ballast to dry properly. You can see the effect. I'll get my best hanky out now. As long as you wipe it off straight away. And then of course you go over with the rubber later. But again, that's what happens when you rush things. I should have left that ballast another 12 hours. But I shall clear it up. I shall make it look alright, don't you worry. And what have you, and some rust on the rails. But we'll get on to that shortly. Right, well, we've got to Thursday night, Thursday tea time. As you can see, I ripped all that. I done it in newspaper and PVA. It hadn't stuck down all that well. So what I've done, I put a coat of plaster of Paris on that now, and then I've just stapled it so as it should hopefully look like waves when we paint it blue. And then coming down, the bridge I've taken off, of course, whilst repair work going on. We've got a bit more track down, still being held down whilst it dries. A little bit more track down here. Grass, let's just put some scatter on for the time being, and then I'm going to put some static grass on. But it's waiting for everything to dry in it, ballasting and what have you. I've got this end ballasted now. It's got to go around with the rust paint, of course, on the tracks yet. Tomorrow's another day, as I say. Hopefully it'll all be looking a lot better by Friday evening or Saturday evening, if she lets me come and do a bit more up here. Right, that'll do for today. I didn't think the grasshopper, the notch one that I used, was a good sample of how it works. I've since put a new batter on and it's a lot better now. So I'll just show you with a close up. I'll just do this little bit here. That's PVA, it's about 60% PVA, 40% water. Mixed it in, brush it on. My pin there, well, it's a screw I put in. Attach the cable top. No attaching to the track today. Clip it on when I get hold of it. There we go. And we'll switch it on with the new battery and see if you can see the difference. There you go, standing up a lot better now. I've dropped this a few times, to be honest, and I've had it about 6 or 7 years now, and I think I've only changed the battery once. But there you go, that looks a lot better now. And then of course I always had a bit of hairspray to finish off with that I've shown in the past. I use the extra firm hold. And when that's dry, I'll see a difference. Take it in closer. Is it focusing? Take the paper away. Looks a lot better, doesn't it? Probably doing making the mixture a little bit thicker actually. But when that dries, that'll be fine. I've actually got the smaller Peco one on order. I thought it had been here today, and it'll be easier to get into certain places. The notch has a small attachment, but I find it don't work as well with that. Anyway, just giving you an insight what can be done with them. Right, well, not quite an hour after I made that bit of video then using the notch grasshopper, the Peco one arrived. This is the small one, so we're just going to test it out on here now. I've put the PVA down, put the screw in. It's an area which has had the scatter put on previously, so we'll see how we go. We'll switch on. Seems to be going on alright. This is 4mm grass. You're supposed to start off with I think the 2 then build up, but put 6 on last. But I don't want 6mm grass on here, it'd be too long. Well, that's it, the static grass. Static grass applicator from Peco. Looks to be doing a good little job actually. And if you go on the websites, check out, because there's a lot of different prices. I got this for £40. I've mentioned the firm before. I can't keep advertising, otherwise I'll get in trouble. But there you go. Not bad at all, that, is it? See, using that Peco Grass Applicator, it's not come out bad at all. It's still not fully dry. I'm trying to rush things here too much, I suppose. Of course, it was very cold again last night, so nothing dried much. Another little tip whilst I'm doing it, if you're putting paving down, these white edges, if you use a marker pen, felt tip pen, just do your edges before you put them down. And it saves trying to do them when they're down, because you try that when they're down and you get it all on the paving, but this way you can hold it up and sort of work away from the top, and you get a nice dark edge then instead of it showing white. It's just a little tip to share again. Another tip which I have shown in the past is those paint markers for doing your white lines. You can buy them at stationery shops. You get them online. You pay a lot of different prices as well. I think I paid about £2.50 each for these, but they're ideal. You got your white lines for your parking areas then. Just going to add some rail rust on here. I'm doing it with a paintbrush. I know it's going on all the track, but I'll wipe the tops off when I've done. I have used just spraying it on in the past. The spray tin's what I've got. But it's you need a lot of masking tape then. But I find if you just use a brush, put it on, and of course wipe the top of the rail straight afterwards. And there you've got the effect of the rust on the rails. You see it better. There's a lot to do yet. At this end here, I've just got put one suspension bridge up, not fixed yet, of course, and I've just been that lake or whatever you want to call it, and that's from I just had plaster of Paris base, painted it blue, and then put clear gloss on. Clear gloss. It's at 2 coats, but it's not as shiny as what I thought it'd be. Probably not as good a product as what I'd normally use. But anyway, I'll give it another couple of coats and see how it comes out. Come round then. I got that incline up to the bridge, of course, done. Still the track to be fully laid and ballasted. And all cottages and what have you set in now. And then I'll come down and have a with the camera again. Put the pub and the couple of shops there. Just a little area. I've put the platforms back. I still want a bit of tidying up and work doing on them. Put the burger bar on again. Not a lot else I can think to put there. It's not big enough for a shopping area or anything. When I come round, I shall eventually put a level crossing on there. And then up at this end, I've put that walling down. Still wants touching up with colours a bit. It didn't come out same as what the originals were. As far as I've got, forget those buildings there, I've just stood them there. We'll just run a train down, as I usually do, just to show they do run. There's white lining to do, there's all sorts to do, trees, bushes. The main thing, I've got the basic down now at this end. The tunnel seems to be working perfectly well, okay. As you know, it lifts up there, so if there is a problem we can get into it. As you know, this were the platforms that I built last year, earlier on this year rather, so they just want tweaking up a bit now. It's a case of getting stuff down and stuff drying. But hopefully we'll have it all done for Christmas. Right, I'm going to have to reach over and stop that, otherwise it's going to go straight over the end. I take it you notice I put those pebbles round. They're just the same like you get at garden centre, or a full sack outside. They look quite effective as rocks there round. I'm just hoping that glazes over a bit more. If not, I'll have to try something else. I've also got the what they call water, that real water, but it's flipping expensive now. One other thing I'm going to show you, Peter sent me this, Peter Blakely. It's the copper tape. I haven't got around to doing me any more electrics just yet, but you can use that for your buzz line. Just attach your wires to, tape it to the board, and he mentions just putting a bit of, you put sellotape, put tape over the top of it to protect it, and then you can cover it with grass or whatever you, and just keep soldering your wires on for lighting, for your buzz line or anything. But I have to be using that this next week, so I'll show it in my next video. Right, that's it for this week then. Hope I haven't bored you all. But we're starting to see it getting there a bit now anyway.